Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February? A new year is approaching, bringing with it the chance to transform your life. But why do so many promises of change disappear so quickly? What sets the remaining 20% apart from the rest? The answer is simple: lack of planning. Have you ever thought about how, with each new cycle, you find yourself stuck in the same routines, the same frustrations? What if I told you that the key to change lies in how you organize your time and set your goals? Imagine waking up in a year, looking back and realizing that you truly evolved. That only happens when you have a clear and specific plan. How many times have you felt motivated only for that flame to fizzle out soon after? This happens because motivation alone isn't enough. Consistent action and a roadmap to guide your steps are essential. Have you ever questioned what problems are holding you back? Visualize that. Each unresolved challenge takes up space in your mind, diverting your focus from what truly matters. So, how do you clear the mental clutter and focus on what can change your life? Remember, a year of transformation begins with a simple step. Are you ready to take that step? Share in the comments your biggest motivation for this year and what usually holds you back from achieving it. Have you ever stopped to think about why so many people struggle to keep their New Year's resolutions? I've been there myself, and I've learned from others who shared their stories about how good planning was the key to their change. It was always the same story. I'd start the year full of determination, but as the months went by, my motivation dwindled, and I had no clear direction. Good planning helps us visualize the goals we want to achieve. It's like having a map in hand where every step is laid out, and you know exactly what you need to do. When I started doing this, I realized that having a plan not only kept me focused but also gave me a sense of control over my life. My priorities became clearer, and I was able to dedicate my time and energy to what truly mattered. Additionally, planning teaches us to break down large goals into smaller steps. For example, instead of just putting learn to play the guitar as a goal, I would set steps like practice for 30 minutes a day or learn a new song each week. This made all the difference in my journey. Another important point is that effective planning is not static. It evolves with us. Sometimes, along the way, I realized that some goals needed to be adjusted. And that's okay. The essential thing is to maintain flexibility and be willing to adapt the plan to new circumstances. This reality shows us that planning is the key to lasting change, a truth many of us overlook. If you want your resolutions to have a better chance of success, start thinking about a solid plan. It's a step that can transform your intentions into achievements. Before diving into new goals, it's crucial to clear your mind. I've always believed that to make significant changes, we first need to address the problems taking up mental space. It's like trying to start a new project with a messy desk. You can't begin until you tidy up what's already there. Making a list of existing problems can be a great first step. For instance, I used to have pending financial issues that made me anxious. When I decided to write down everything that worried me, I realized that some of them were simpler to resolve than I had imagined. This gave me a sense of relief and clarity. Another important aspect is dealing with relational problems. Sometimes we have unresolved issues with friends or family that hold us back. I've let some conversations linger, but I've learned that resolving these matters lifts a weight off my shoulders. Communication is key, and an honest conversation can change everything. Furthermore, we cannot forget about professional problems. I've been in jobs that didn't satisfy me, and this consumed a lot of my energy. By identifying and resolving these issues, I managed to make room for new opportunities, which was a turning point in my life. Mental decluttering is an essential step before any change. Creating an environment conducive to transformation requires us to shed what holds us back. And believe me, when you start resolving these issues, the sense of lightness that follows is indescribable. With a clear mind, it becomes much easier to focus on the new goals and changes you want to implement. When it comes to setting goals, it's easy to get lost in vague phrases and promises that never materialize. I've done this countless times. I remember one year when I told myself, I want to be healthier, but what did that really mean? Without a clear objective, my motivation quickly faded. That's why I learned that it's essential to have specific and measurable goals. For example, instead of saying, I want to lose weight, I committed to losing 20 pounds in a year. This gave me a clear focus and a timeline to work toward. When we set quantifiable goals, we can monitor our progress much more effectively. It's that old saying, what can be measured can be improved. With a specific number in mind, it's easier to evaluate what I'm doing right and what needs adjustment. This clarity also helps maintain motivation, since every pound lost is a small triumph that drives me to continue. Moreover, when goals are clear, the feeling of achievement becomes tangible. Instead of merely waiting for changes, I can celebrate small victories along the way. Each step forward reminds me that I'm in control of my destiny. This approach makes the process much more rewarding. Another important point is that by establishing clear goals, I can better plan the steps necessary to achieve them. This means I can create a schedule of activities, whether at the gym, in the kitchen, or in any other aspect of my life. Every detail becomes a fundamental part of my plan, which boosts my confidence. This technique of setting specific and measurable goals has a positive effect on various areas of life. When I apply this approach to other spheres like my career or relationships, I notice that the same principle applies. The clearer and more objective my goals are, the greater my chances of achieving them. Establishing a theme for the year may seem like an abstract concept, but for me, it has served as a compass. Instead of getting lost in multiple objectives, I decided to focus on one big concept that would guide my actions. For instance, I declared, "This is the year of family." This theme helped me prioritize moments with my loved ones and reminded me of the importance of relationships. By defining an annual theme, I find that daily decisions become easier. Whenever an opportunity arises, I ask myself, does this contribute to my theme for this year? If the answer is no, it's easier to decline or redirect my focus. This clarity provides me with a sense of purpose, which I value immensely. Moreover, having a central theme helps me align my specific goals with a larger objective. For example, by deciding that the focus is family, I can set goals related to spending more time together, such as planning trips or simply reserving nights for family dinners. Every action I take connects back to this central idea. An interesting aspect is that the annual theme can serve as a point of reflection. At the end of the year, I can look back and evaluate whether I truly lived according to what I set out to do. This not only helps me understand what worked but also adjust what didn't for the next cycle. This self-critique is essential for my personal growth. Lastly, an annual theme brings a sense of community. By sharing this focus with friends and family, I can inspire them to do the same. This creates an environment of mutual support, where everyone is seeking the same type of growth. This exchange of experiences and learnings is enriching and makes me feel part of something bigger. One of the keys to achieving any goal is constant monitoring of progress. I learned the hard way that just having a goal is not enough. You need to track where you are and what needs to be adjusted along the way. A good way to do this is by establishing regular check-ins to assess your progress. These moments of reflection allow you to see if you are truly on the right path or if something needs to change. Using tools like calendars and journals has been a game changer for me. With a calendar, I can better visualize the weeks and months, which helps me plan tasks more efficiently. And the journal? Oh, it has become my confidant. In it, I write not only my successes but also the challenges I face. This practice of recording everything helps me understand what works and what doesn't, while also keeping me accountable. Additionally, being flexible in my approaches is crucial. Sometimes I realize that the strategy one initially chose isn't working, and that's okay. The important thing is to recognize that and be willing to change direction. There's great freedom in knowing I can adjust my tactics at any time. This adaptability gives me the confidence to continue pursuing my goals, even when the journey is full of surprises. Another important point is celebrating small victories. When I monitor my progress, I don't just look at what's left to achieve, but also at what I have already accomplished. This is essential for keeping motivation high. With every step taken, no matter how small, I allow myself to celebrate. This makes the process much more rewarding and drives me to keep going. It's crucial to remember that success is not a straight path. There will be ups and downs, and that's perfectly fine. The key is to maintain discipline and determination, adjusting the sails whenever necessary until we reach our desired destination. With good monitoring and constant adjustments, obstacles become mere stops along the journey rather than insurmountable barriers. And now, before we wrap up, I want you to take a moment to reflect. What do you truly wish to achieve this year? Think about it as you organize your ideas. Every step you take is an opportunity to get closer to your goal. And remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey. Are you ready to commit? Grab a piece of paper and write down your main goal. Then break it down into small daily actions. What can you do, even if it's something simple, to move closer to that dream? A small daily effort can lead to significant transformation over time. Now visualize this. Imagine yourself a few months from now looking back and seeing how much you've grown. That's powerful, isn't it? But don't forget, it's normal to face challenges and tough days. What's important is not to give up. So tell me, what is your goal and how do you plan to achieve it? Share your responses in the comments. Your journey can inspire others. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips that will help you transform your life. Let's embark on this journey of transformation together.